When I say supercars, what do you imagine? Something to show off of, something that grabs everyone's attention, reserved for the rich people only. That's all you need. That is the purpose of a supercar, right? The glamour, the status, the ability to make an average person envious to the point that some of them even think that supercars are useless because it serves no purpose other than to just show off. But today, I'm going to show you a different perspective of these supercars. The two most important aspects of these supercars which makes them a necessity to the world since the moment they were brought into existence. One aspect that inspires the adults and one aspect that inspires the kids. Well, they are the same thing because adults are like children when it comes to supercars. Innovation. Without it, human existence becomes stale, boring, and lifeless. It is what makes us move ahead in life as a species. But with that comes risk. An enormous amount of risk that can either make or break the deal. It is the same with the car companies everywhere. Either they can just make some boring family sedans with minimal risk and just stick to that, or they can have some balls and take a risk for making a supercar. That risk in turn trades in for potential of innovation that can revolutionize automotive industry in terms of safety or speed or even aerodynamics. So when it comes to car companies, they can take some risk making a sports car or a supercar and innovate to raise the standard that can push automotive industry to a new height, which makes them so important. No car company is going to take that much of a risk for budget-friendly family car. And since supercars are made in limited numbers, like a few thousands or even less than that, unlike a normal family car which are made in a few 100,000 or even a million units, it does make sense to risk it more in a supercar. And the best thing about them as well is that once a supercar is made, it becomes a great marketing tool for customers to buy a less expensive car from the company. I'm sorry, what was it called again? Cars like the Audi R8, Nissan GT-R, Lexus LFA, Ford GT creates that halo car effect that improves companies' image and brand recognition, showing their engineering prowess and of course glamour. That in turn makes an average car buyer more likely to buy that company's car, even if it's not as exotic or as expensive as their halo car. You buy an Audi A4 because Audi makes the R8. You buy Ford Focus because Ford makes the Mustang and the GT. So while companies spend a lot of money developing a supercar, it makes it back by selling normal cars to customers, which came because they happen to see the best car of the company. Anyway, before moving ahead, this video is sponsored by yours truly, me. Check out my art store if you are interested in buying some car arts, and soon there is going to be a new surprise in there. You'll just have to wait a bit. Please do like, comment and subscribe. And now back to the video. And also because the technology in supercars trickles down to companies' average car, because if something has taken so much money in order to R&D and develop those parts for supercars, it is going to be shared amongst other cars which are not that supercar. I think the best example of this would be Ferdinand Piech, if I pronounce that right. He made very high quality parts which are as luxurious as a part on a supercar and just mass produced it. The major R&D budget was taken by these luxurious and exotic parts and they were mass produced. That's why you can get a luxurious interior from a Volkswagen Golf GTI. But the thing is, it's not only the image of the company that improves, but the entire country's image improves in the automotive world. It shows that the country's engineers have made some of the best cars in the world. Their engineering prowess is displayed at the front of the world. Sweden is known for Koenigsegg when it comes to supercars or even hypercars. Germany has Audi R8, Porsche 911, Porsche Carrera GT, Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, Porsche 911 GT1, etc. UK has McLaren P1, Lotus Elises, GMA T50, Ariel Atom V8, BSC Mono, Caterham R500, Jaguar XJ220, etc. America has the C8 Corvette ZR1, Ford GT, Saleen S7, Hennessy Venom, and many more. Japan has the Lexus LFA, Nissan GTRs, Honda NSXs, etc. as their badges of honor. People can say, my country has made a car that I'm proud of, while I'm sitting in India in silence. Check this video out. Anyway, another thing that I wanted to talk about was competition. See, the difference between the good and the great just comes down to dissatisfaction. When it comes to competition, the extreme it gets, the more dissatisfied the players are, which leads to thinking of new ways to wipe out the competition and one up the other. I think the best example would be Koenigsegg versus Bugatti. Koenigsegg, a small Swedish hypercar manufacturer, which wanted to create the fastest car in the world, but faced much competition from a well-known car manufacturer known as Bugatti, backed up by a multinational billion-dollar parent company with limitless budget for making the fastest car in the world. The Veyron, Koenigsegg did not back down. It fought back and improved everything which was in their control, which made some of the most high quality and technologically superior cars in the world. Same with Ford versus Ferrari, Mustang versus Camaro versus Challenger, Lamborghini versus Ferrari. See, a normal car competition serves the customer, which has the most luggage space, which has the most better interior, etc. etc. Supercar competition serves the entirety of the automotive industry in general. Better technology, faster shifts, improving aero, making more powerful engines per liter, etc. Competition breeds innovation. The higher the stake of the competition, the more life-changing innovation takes place. That competition also in turn makes heritage and history for car companies. Ford versus Ferrari at Le Mans, McLaren F1 GTR versus Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, before mentioned Bugatti versus Koenigsegg, and many more that we used to appreciate and respect, which helps improves company's image. Again, we love Lamborghini because it has been making crazy supercars since the 1960s, and the appeal of a Ferrari leads back to their racing days since the 1950s, and so on and so forth. But in my opinion, this aspect of us adults thinking and praising supercars for its technological innovations pales in comparison to the aspect that makes a kid go, wow. The next generations which are going to push automotive world ahead, while we become old, bitter and useless. They are the ones that are going to buy the supercars or even normal cars ahead in life. So in the lens of a kid, the cars which are going to inspire him and make him so infatuated with cars that he is ready to dedicate his life to this automotive world are supercars, or at least sports cars. Because who the fuck as a child goes like, oh wow, there is that Honda City that looks so amazing, which makes me so interested in it that I'm willing to learn more about cars and dedicate my whole life to it. No kid will ever say that. It's not just the Honda, but any normal ass family car. We need cool supercars to make kids go and dream of one day becoming capable enough to either own that supercar or make them capable enough to make that kind of supercar. I mean, watch this video by Vehicle Versions to understand how important it is. That is how I got into the world of cars. As a car enthusiast, I watched some of the most fastest and coolest supercars in the world that made me love cars in general. The McLaren F1, the Jaguar XJ220, is there a Commendatore from NFS 2SE, and the Porsche Carrera GT, Lamborghini Gallardo, Lotus Elise, and the one and the only BMW M3 GTR from NFS Most Wanted. These cars made me into a hardcore car enthusiast, and no matter how hard it is going to be in the automotive world, I would strive forward to become one of the best engineers in that world. And that is what made you into a car enthusiast as well, if you have been watching the video at this point. But anyway, that was my opinion on it. That is what I think of supercars. That is why I love them. That's why they are a necessity, not for the rich people but also for us. And that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.